Hello and welcome to Roadcraft. If you want to be a smarter, better, and safer driver, you're in the right place. In this episode, if where you look is where you want to go, then it's pretty important to look in the right direction. That's not just good advice, there's science to back it up. Let's get going. Have you ever played The Floor is Lava? Or when you're walking on the sidewalk, the cracks are lava? Sure you have. It's a childhood standard. So you know that to survive, you can't put all your focus on the lava. You have to look where you plan to jump to avoid the lava. Just like driving. Well, not exactly. There's more than lava to look at when you're driving. The road, obviously, and then everything that goes along with it. The car pulling out of a parking lot, a cyclist up ahead in the lane, a family stepping into the crosswalk, that obnoxious flashing billboard, the dog darting across the street, a delivery truck parked in the center lane, the inflatable tube man flailing wildly at the entrance to a used car lot. I could go on and on. The driving environment is full of critically important information and completely irrelevant details. Of course, you can ignore the irrelevant stuff. Well, it's hard to ignore the tube guy, but from the list of important things, how do you decide where to look? You want to scan your surrounding for hazards, but once you spot one, there's a temptation to focus on that threat, and that's a problem. It's called target fixation. I'll skip the fancy definition and just say it's when a person becomes so fixated on an obstacle that they drive right into it. Target fixation is especially hazardous for motorcyclists and cyclists because of the micro inputs involved in steering a two-wheeled vehicle, but it's also relevant for any driver. Eye-hand coordination is fundamental to so many ordinary tasks. We talk about it a lot in the context of sports, but you need it for almost any physical activity. Tying your shoes, writing, eating, getting dressed, driving a car. Our eyes are wired to our hands. That's not just me saying that. Researchers have concluded that our gaze is tightly linked with steering wheel angle changes and that the eyes lead the hands. Before you ever steer with your hands, you steer with your eyes. Your eyes aren't just giving advice to your hands, they're pretty much insisting on what they do. Yes, your brain is involved and I'm oversimplifying, but practically speaking, where you look is where you're going to go. As a cyclist, I can tell you that if I spot a rock in my path, it's almost impossible to steer away from it while I'm looking at it. My eyes are able to overpower the muscles in my hands and arms, along with the voice in my brain saying, "Don't hit the rock, don't hit the rock." I have to take my eyes off the rock and look at my intended route. It makes sense though. Looking where you're going is a fundamental survival skill. Eye-hand coordination evolves beginning at infancy and continues through adulthood. As we develop, our eyes and body become so linked that we not only look where we're going, we go where we're looking. That's helpful until we experience target fixation while driving. There's a simple solution. Once you identify an obstacle, look at the route you need to take to avoid the obstacle. Simple, but it takes some skill. Fortunately, it's the skill you depended on in childhood to avoid the lava. Now apply that to your drive. Identify the hazard, find a path to avoid the hazard, and look where you want to go.